Hello again, students. I decided to create another video really quick to show you guys what you need to do if you want to look up a research article from one of Kent State's research databases, if you're going to do that as the second part of one of your communication theory journals. So I'm going to take you through the steps. It's real quick and dirty as far as what you need to do to get to a research database and get the information you need to write a little quick summary of an article for your communication theory journal. So we're going to open up a web browser. Then we're going to go to Kent State's website, kent.edu. It's always the first step. So there's all these directories here. There's a number of ways you can get to the Kent State Library main web page. Usually the way I always end up doing it from the Kent State main page is I just type in library. So we type library, we search library, and then it always pops up right here. The other way you can do it is you can make this a bookmark, or you can just go to this page, which is kent.edu/library, and then that should take you, I think, to the Kent State Library page. But I'm lazy, so I always just end up searching for it on the Kent main page, and it gets you here every time. Now, an important thing to remember when you're trying to access research databases, there's a special tool that you can download that will allow you to access research articles off of campus, but you need to be on Kent State's official Wi-Fi, or you need to be using a campus computer to get to these research databases. But the way you get to the research databases, it's sort of hidden on here in plain sight, but right at the center of the page there's this little link that says databases. So we click on that, and that's what's going to take us to all of these research databases. And all of a sudden, look at this, you're overwhelmed with information here. They've got them all listed, as many as you could count, maybe even more. So you can go to databases by subject, then you can click on communication studies, and it'll spit them out right here as far as a couple good links. Specifically, you want to click on communication studies databases. And then here's the three that you need. Communication, mass media, complete. I'm going to go back and do that again so you guys get an idea of what I'm doing. So you do databases by subject, then communication studies, and then communication studies databases. And that'll take you to these three, which is the ones that we'll use. Now you're welcome to use any of these other databases as well. So if you are searching for specifically the communication theories, you have a better % chance of finding them through one of the communication databases. But if you're looking at a different research database and you find a theory that's from another discipline, then that's fine too. Any article you find that uses the theory will work out just fine. So the other way that you can get to these research databases that I think is easier is right when you come up to this page, you just hit C, because all the databases start with communication, and then you scroll down until you find communication abstracts and communication and mass media complete. Now the difference between these two right here, the abstracts page just gives you the quick and dirty summaries, and the communications and mass media complete actually links you to the full-blown articles. So just to show you what the full-blown articles are like, we're going to click on communication and mass media complete. And then this is the way it sets up the search term. There's 3 bars here that you can use. And we're going to talk about this in class, but they're called Boolean operators, and you can switch between and, or not between these 3 words. So it's a little different than just straight up Google. But for the most part, it works the same. So if I can spell the words right, symbolic interaction theory is what we're going to look for, and see what comes up if we just look for that. And look at this, we've got, how many pages of articles did that turn up? We have about, well, not that many. We only have a couple responses. So you might want to play around with your search terms. You might just want to try symbolic, and it'll give you some different suggestions here. It's probably symbolic interactionalism. And then, yeah, look at that. A lot of times use the results they suggest, because already we've got 3 pages. So let's just pick one of these. Obviously, if you speak Spanish, that's a good one, but maybe if you don't, you want to pick one that you can read that's in your language. Oh, here we go. The foreign teacher is an idiot, symbolic interactionalism, and assumptions about language and language teaching in China. So that sounds interesting. So you can click on the article itself, and it sort of gives you a little summary. But the important thing to click on is if you want to actually read the full article, then you can click on this PDF full text, and that'll give you a full copy of the article that you can download and read on your own computer at home or whatever you need. But just real quick, this says that the paper examines Western teachers and Chinese students' assumptions about second language acquisition and the nature of language itself. So it's looking at symbolic interaction of classroom behaviors and verbal symbols that are sometimes misunderstood across cultures. So this is an interesting art. So for your summary for your journal, you would write your little 1-sentence, 2-sentence summary would be, I found an article on symbolic interactionalism, and it looked at the symbol use and differences and sometimes confusion that happened between student teachers in China and their Chinese students. And that's your summary. That's all you have to write. Obviously, if you're interested, you can read a little bit more into the paper. But then the other thing that you want to include in addition to that summary that you write is a citation. And the nice thing about using these research databases is they'll give you the citation automatically. So if you go over here to cite, we obviously want the APA format, but you can just copy and paste this. If you're using the digital version, you can copy and paste this into your Google Docs document, or if not, then what you can do is you can just write this citation out if you're just writing with pen and paper. So let's say I'm going to use this citation. I'm going to open up my Google Docs thing real quick. So we'll go Flashline, log in, wait for it, just like it using Kent State's internet at Kent State. And we'll go to Google Docs. Here I am. It's going to open my drive. I'm going to click on my Com Theory journal. It loads here. So then I can just paste my citation right in there. It's kind of in a weird format, so you might have to clear the formatting. And then obviously you don't want it maybe centered, you probably want it left aligned. But we could write a little thing. This article talked about, what did I say before? Student teachers and the difficulties they had communicating with their Chinese students. Specifically, their use of symbols, confusion over symbols which meant different things to the American teachers and Chinese students. So that, in a nutshell, is how you would do it if you want to look up and do research articles as for your second 5 points for your Com Theory journal. That's how you would go about doing it. So, not too long of an assignment, and you'll get into you'll get better and get faster at going through and looking at the research databases and dredging up stuff. But this is a useful tool for any of your classes to be able to go in and definitely look up research articles, because you get a lot of information. And this is what we do as research scholars all the time. So there you go, and I'm going to post this video to the class website.